Breaking news, you guys. Summer's Unasked-For 2 cents. Just in, Alyssa goes live with Connie. Live from the messy streets of the creator of Drama Lane. Let's get into it. Okay? Alyssa made a not so surprise appearance on none other than Connie's live. And let's just say it's given a girl, why are you here? Because why? What was the point? Okay, the timing was definitely wrong. And the purpose is still unclear. Let's get into the highlights. Okay, hold on and stay with me, y'all. It's giving panel jumping going wrong, in my opinion. Okay, sis hopped on the ops platform. And when I say the ops, is because you were teammate at one point, and now you're sitting with her biggest op, Connie. The same op who has an audience that was trying to get your baby taken. You don't remember that? They was rooting for CPS to come in and grab that baby. All because they was trying to figure out what was going on. Where was he at? What was he? Anyway, it's giving public humiliation. And now possibly having all her omitted truths aired out. And why do I say that? Because Alyssa, is it Alyssa or Alyssa? I don't know. If your name not Alyssa, my bad. Just listen, hear me out, baby girl. You sat on that panel, right? And you were kind of tiptoeing around the things you had going on. It was your own personal business, rightfully so. But once you took your behind on that panel and aired out the things that you aired out, now you put the ball in May and them's court to air your business out. So if they know about the things you have going on that you don't want the public to know, it's a really good possibility that we're going to find out anyway. So you might as well have put your own situation out there and control your own narrative. I done told the people that. Always control your own narrative if it's going to hit the public, okay? But anyway, let's talk about May real quick. May went in on Shorty, okay? And I will say this. I do not think that when Alyssa went on that panel, although I don't think it was such a good idea, she didn't disrespect May. She told her story. She was cool, calm, and collective. I actually watched it for myself. But May was calling the girl all types of B's, unfit mothers and all kinds of stuff. May was tripping. Like, May was definitely tripping. I don't know what that girl Smiley or whoever her name was up on that panel talking about. A lot of people, once they attach themselves to someone, they will kind to create a narrative, kind of like the same way that they accuse Connie of doing, creating narratives. I feel like Smiley created a narrative because me personally, in my own opinion, I don't think Alyssa disrespected May. Or bashed May, should I say. Bashed May. I won't say disrespected. I don't think she bashed May, but May definitely dragged Shorty. I mean, even talking about she went to go suck on some Peter Whacker. Come on, sis. Okay. Let's talk about motherhood boundaries for a minute, okay? Because hers were clearly ignored. According to Alyssa, this is all according to Alyssa, okay? Her story depicted that she wanted her baby to eat a certain way, and May wasn't trying to respect her boundary, right? Now, while she has a right to feel away, if Jayden, the daddy, don't care about the nutrition plan that you was trying to put in place, he wasn't backing you, then sweetheart, your battle ain't with May. It's not. And honestly, if no one has told you, it's going to be really hard, impossible for you to control what they do when he's with the father, okay? The only thing you can control is when the baby is with you. Not even a judge is going to order them once y'all go to court and, this, that, and the third, for them to feed him in a way that you see fit. It just doesn't happen that way. That's a battle you kind of got to let go and keep pushing now that y'all are separated, okay? Bad play, bad timing. You should have gotten your baby first, then spilled the tea. Not the other way around. Now you just look like you playing social media games while your child is still out of your reach, okay? That was a big mistake, okay? You also told them that you don't trust Jayden to return your son, okay? While they had him, from my understanding, the baby was in their possession when you told him this. Girl, what? That was a fast track to you ain't getting him back to a court. And even if they didn't have him, once you told him that, if you had the baby in your possession and then you gave him the baby, come on, sis. If the shoe was on the other foot and Jayden said, I moved 4 hours away, so I don't feel comfortable with you coming to get the baby. You was already complaining about getting the baby 30 minutes from me. So yeah, you could come down here and come visit him, but you can't take him with you. What would you have done and you know, if the shoe was on the other foot? Come on, let's use our brains, okay? Let's talk about this red flag health alert, okay? You said the baby had a bump on his lip. You even showed the picture. Now, I can't tell if that's a rash, a blemish. I don't know what that is because the picture is not really clear. It could be. But if you had a genuine concern, so much so that you spoke to Jayden about what was on his lip, knowing that May has HSV-1 and 2, and your excuse was you didn't have him long enough to take him to the hospital to get him checked out. Didn't have the time. That was an emergency, not a suggestion, mamas. You should have took that baby to the emergency room and let them swab whatever was on his lip. Come check it out so you could see what was going on. Everyone knows that May feeds the babies from her mouth. While I don't think she kisses them on her lips, even her sharing their food. While I get it, like, if you don't have an active outbreak, it's harder to pass on HSV-1 or 2, but it's not impossible. It's still a thing. And as a grandmother, in my own personal opinion, if I was positive for something like that, regardless of what the doctor told me understanding how easily it can be transmitted, I wouldn't risk my grandbabies picking it up. I'm not feeding y'all out of my mouth, because why? I could use a fork and a spoon, okay? We could mash it up in the blender if you need soft foods, but I'm not finna chew it up and give it to you, knowing the possibility that I could pass this on to you. I wouldn't want that on my conscience. So, baby girl, when you seen that stuff on that baby lip, and you spoke to the daddy, and then you sat on that panel and you gave the excuse of you didn't have him long enough, it's given, huh? Now, I know you young, right? But we can't be using your age as an excuse for everything. And where are your parents at? Where are they advising you? Because it just ain't given. And what's up with not having an emergency hearing? Okay, May asks, if it's such a issue, why not file for emergency custody? And people was like, all up and down. That was a valid question, especially if money is not the issue from your family. And even if it was, y'all said on that live that someone offered to pay for it for you. You don't know how long it's going to take for you to get a court date. I don't know if y'all have a court date yet or not, but going through the process of that, it could be months before that happens. So you will be okay with your son just being in their possession and you being able not to get him. That wouldn't work out for me. Either this is deeper than what you're saying, or it's not giving concern, mom. I'm sorry. It's giving storyline. I don't know. And your feelings, maybe. I'm not sure. Butt hurt. I don't know. But it's not giving what it needs to give, even as a young mother, if your concern is getting your baby back. And I know a lot of people were saying, May is keeping the baby, May is keeping the baby. But according to social media, May been out of town, I think, for like the last 2 weeks. Per her social medias, right? So someone was denying access last weekend because she said she tried to go get the baby last weekend. It likely wasn't May, right? Not unless y'all trying to say May is controlling Jayden even from out of town. I don't know. I don't know if I will believe that. It sounds like he's choosing to hold his baby back. Like he's made a sound decision for whatever his reasons are. And he is saying, no, you can't even see the baby, which is crazy. Okay. So even her saying, because somebody asked her today, like, why no emergency hearing? What's up with the court? And her explanation was her family advised her not to move fast, that they're getting things in place. That don't make any sense to me at all, right? And I know it doesn't have to make sense to me because it ain't my situation, but you could go in for 50-50 custody, because that's what he's saying, May is saying that they want, is what you're saying you want. You could go in for 50-50 custody and still get your stuff together and have your son in your possession while you're getting whatever you need to get together. If it is that you want more than 50-50 custody, maybe you're going after something else, you could work on that in the process of having your son with you and then take them back to court to suggest or request a different type of custody. I mean, even as a parent, you could be sleeping on the couch of your daddy, your auntie house, whatever. A judge is not going to say, oh, you can't see your baby or have your baby because you are living with somebody else. That's not typically how things go at all. So I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. I mean, and then another note, let's be for real, okay? A lot of people were talking about Connie is manipulating, using a girl, this, that, and the third. let's keep it all the way 100. Connie runs a tea page centered on May. Okay? Y'all mad she wanted some tea? She legit was just doing her job. Alyssa stepped into that lion's den. Okay? And if y'all didn't think they was going to try to eat it up, meaning wasn't going to try to get the tea from her about certain things, y'all are oblivious, okay? I'm not going to dismiss the fact that Connie said for herself, and Alyssa didn't, I can't remember if she confirmed it. I think she did confirm it, that Connie had given her several resources behind the scenes before this came to social media. Connie's followers also was trying to put money in her hands so she could go and file for court paperwork. So I'm not going to put that on Connie, that Connie was just using her. She's doing what bloggers do. A story came to her. She even said that she don't think it would be a good idea for her to go, to bring it to social media. It might damage her case. And Alyssa still wanted to do it. Now, me, would I have taken it? Probably not. But y'all know I'm a different type of blogger. I have a different type of boundaries. But most bloggers would have took the story if you wanted to tell your story. So I'm not going to fault Connie for that. She's just doing what she do. Like, it would have not been Connie to not try to get some tea on May. Like, that would have been insane. It'd have been like, wait, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I'm still confused. On what going on to Connie's panel was supposed to do for her. What was it supposed to do? It couldn't have helped you in any way. All it did was air out y'all dirty laundry. Legit. All it did was bring y'all issues to the forefront of the public and give them something else to take aim at. I don't know if this was a thing about telling the story because it's know it's going to piss people off. And I feel like I've seen a couple of people in the comments talking about calling CPS. Is her hopes that people will call CPS so much so that they would suggest that they give the baby to the mother? Is that like the game the route we're taking? Because if it wasn't about getting money up for emergency custody, if it wasn't about you airing out real tea, because you ain't dropped no tea, you ain't really give up nothing. You ain't give up nothing to paint May as like, like, damn, oh, we knew. You know what I'm saying? You ain't dig into nothing. You kept it real respectful, real surface. So I'm just personally confused about what was the point. Why bring your stuff to social media? Why put yourself in the same position that you were concerned about the baby being on social media with May? Like all the stuff that goes on, the drama, that it looks weird, it's too much going on. I just don't get it. Now, she did mention something about them wanting Junior to stop being posted because it looked weird. I agree with that. You posting, OnlyFans content and stuff like that. I don't think that should be combined. I definitely think it looks weird. I know that people in the adult entertainment have families and stuff like that, but you rarely see them talking about their escapades for the adult industry and mixing their family into it in the same space. It just doesn't go. Normally that stuff is kept separate. And I know that May's YouTube platform, she generally talks about like everything. It's like a smorgasbord of things. But yeah, I don't know. It's giving us more to the story. Something ain't adding up. I remember the story being told like the family didn't even want her to keep the baby. It sounded like Jayden may not have wanted her to keep the baby and May convinced them to keep the baby. Yeah, y'all could do with that information what y'all will as far as y'all opinion, because now they are here. But could it be that the family is using this as an opportunity for Alyssa to maybe separate herself? Because she mentioned she's about to go back to school and things like that. So are they trying to convince her not to do too much and focus on her so she can go through school, not to have the responsibility of the baby, kind of get herself in order and then go back possibly? Or is like this their way of saying, okay, be done with the situation? I don't know. But me, if that was me and I have a son that's an adult, if he had a baby and he was going through this, it wouldn't be let's just wait and see how it play out, baby. I would have been on the first thing smoking for emergency custody. The cops would have been called. Paperwork would have been being filed. Lawyers would have been called. 9 times out of 10, I'd have probably been at the door waiting for them to come out. And we'd have had to boop, boop, bop, bop, scrap up. I'd have had somebody for the baby daddy, somebody for the sisters, the aunties, whoever I needed to have somebody for. I got enough sisters or whatever to be out there on standby, because it's no way you just gonna be keeping my baby from me and I'm supposed to just let it ride. It's just not gonna be a thing. But yeah, this is my 2 cents that nobody asked for. Let me know your thoughts. Am I tripping? I don't know. I definitely understand like where Alyssa is coming from with some of the things she shared, like her boundaries not being respected. But unfortunately, when you are sharing custody with the child, and even sometimes even still being together, you have to choose your battles, and you're not going to be able to control what they do in their household, unfortunately, at all. And you just have to focus on what you do when the baby is with you. Something I heard that I didn't like either was May mentioned if CPS come that she has proof. Now I didn't hear the lady say about her calling CPS and providing nothing to make her look like a horrible grandmom or the son to look bad. So I'm lost about why she would want to show something to CPS to possibly put Alyssa in a position where she like loses custody. Like, why that's the aim? It's giving petty and childish. Oh, you went on this panel to go talk about me. These people gonna call CPS, so I'm finna air you out. Because if you have things in your phone, especially you mentioned black eyes, that would have been nothing that I kept secret, baby, because Alyssa probably would have had 2 black eyes if I seen my grandbaby had black eyes. Now, I don't know if I would have been calling the people, but she definitely wouldn't have been walking around here like things is Peachy King, okay? The baby probably would have been in our possession in our house, and we'd have been going through the court process, because ain't no way my baby gonna have a black eye and your explanations ain't making no sense. It's given no, not at all. But I don't know. Let me get back in the kitchen and mind my business and make these cakes. Let me know y'all thoughts. I'll be reading y'all comments in the comment section. All right, y'all. Bye.